Welcome back to the According to West podcast, the podcast where we explore the deeper truths that define our character and shape our existence. I'm your host, Wes, and today we're diving into a powerful and introspective quote that challenges us to look beyond the surface of a person and into the heart of their values. The quote is, "A person's worth is measured by the worth of what he values." This statement, often attributed to the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius, is a direct counterpoint to how our modern world often measures worth. We're taught to measure worth by a person's net worth, their social status, their professional title, or their public image. But Marcus Aurelius offers a different, more profound yardstick. He's telling us that the true value of a person isn't found in what they have, but in what they hold dear. So let's unpack that idea and explore why what we value is a true reflection of who we are. As always, let's break this down into two core components. The first part, a person's worth is measured. This is the claim. It's a statement about evaluation, about how we determine the quality of a person. It suggests that there is a clear objective standard, but it's not the one we usually use. It's an internal standard. Second, by the worth of what he values. This is the standard itself. The measure isn't what's on the outside, it's what's on the inside. What do you truly cherish? What do you spend your energy and time on? And what you put your emotions into? This quote is a powerful piece of psychological insight. It tells us that what we pursue is a direct reflection of what we believe to be important. A person who values money, above all else, will structure their life around its acquisition, often at the expense of other things. A person who values truth will prioritize honesty, even when it's difficult. A person who values kindness will be a source of compassion, even to those who are difficult. The objectives of our values are like a moral compass. I say that a lot here. The point to what we deem worthy of our limited time and attention. And by observing where that compass points for a person, we can discern their true character. So, what's the difference between a low worth value and a high worth value? This isn't about being judgmental, but about understanding a framework of personal growth. I would consider low worth values things that are fleeting, external, and dependent on the approval of others. They might include fame. You would value being known even without a meaningful contribution to the world. Social status, you're valuing prestige, titles, and being seen as important. Material possessions, the cars, the big house, the jewelry, the clothes, just for the sake of people seeing that on you. They gotta see that you got that shit on you. You know what I mean? And, with anything else, instant gratification. Valuing pleasure and comfort above anything, often at the expense of long-term goals or health. That extra piece of cheesecake that you don't eat. But A life built on these values is often fragile. Fame can fade, status can be lost, possessions can be broken or stolen, and instant pleasure often leads to long term pain. When a person's worth is measured by these things, their sense of self is constantly at risk. It's an empty vessel that can never be truly filled. Now, high worth values, on the other hand, are internal, enduring, and contribute to the greater good. They might include things like integrity. And with integrity, you value things like honesty, moral courage, and living in alignment with your principles. Wisdom, valuing truth, knowledge, and a constant pursuit of learning. Compassion, valuing the well-being of others and acting with kindness and empathy. Service, valuing a contribution to your community or the world that is bigger than yourself. And last but not least, character, valuing self-control, resilience, and personal growth. A life built on these values is a life of substance. These values cannot be taken away by external circumstances. They build a solid internal foundation that gives a person a deep sense of purpose and worth, regardless of what the external world throws at them. Now let's look at how this quote plays out in real life. Consider two business leaders. One values profit above all else. They will cut corners, exploit their employees, and deceive their customers to get ahead. Their worth in this case is a reflection of their value, the value of money. The other business leader values innovation, ethical treatment of their workers, and a genuine contribution to society. They will build a company with integrity, creating a lasting legacy that benefits everyone. The worth of this person is measured by the worth of their values. Another example, you may have a friend who only values social standing. They might abandon you if you fall on hard times or if someone more important comes along. Their worth is tied to fleeting popularity. Now consider a friend who values loyalty and genuine connection. This friend will be there for you no matter what. Their worth is measured by their steadfast commitment to your friendship. This quote becomes a powerful tool for self-reflection. What do you truly value? What do you spend your time on? Is it a scroll through social media or a genuine connection with a loved one? Is it a quick thrill or a contribution to a cause you believe in? This quote forces us to ask if our actions align with the values we profess to have. If we say we value family, but we're always working, our true values might be productivity, not family. That's something I genuinely had to break myself out of. Can't be lying to yourself out here. If you make time for family, if that's what you value. This quote isn't just a commentary on others, it's a guide for our own lives. And here's how to cultivate a life of high worth values. For one, first step, identify your values. You have to know what you stand for. Take time to reflect on what truly matters to you. What kind of person do you want to be remembered as? And once you got that down, align your actions. Once you have identified your values, you must align your actions with them. If you value health, you will make time for exercise and good food. If you value learning, you will read and seek out new information. The consistency between your values and your actions is the key to integrity. And third, audit your time and your energy. Look at where you're spending the most of your time, your money, and your emotional energy. Are these things being spent on low worth values or high worth ones? Your calendar and bank statement are powerful mirrors of your true values. Practice gratitude. It's another step in the right direction. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have. It helps us value the simple, enduring things in life. Our health, our relationships, our opportunities. Those are enduring things rather than the fleeting external ones. And as always, embrace service. The fastest way to build a high value system is to serve others. When you give your time or effort to a cause bigger than yourself, you naturally move away from low worth values and towards compassion and purpose. I find myself reevaluating my values and if I'm aligning with my values all the time, almost. It should be something that's practiced daily. And me personally, it took me a while to actually identify what I actually wanted out of life. And once I identified that, I thought, hey, it's going to be easy to go about this in the way that I want. I had to break myself out of habits and actions that didn't align with what I said out my mouth that I wanted. So this is something that should be done daily. Daily. But I digress. A quote, a person's worth is measured by the worth of what he values, is a timeless reminder that our true value is not a matter of what we accumulate, but what we prioritize. It's a call to look beyond the superficial measures of success and to build a life on the solid foundation of integrity, compassion, and purpose. By consciously choosing what we value, we are not just shaping our character, we are determining the very measure of our worth. Thank you guys for joining me on the According to West podcast. May you live a life of worthy values.